Hi, you guys, and welcome back to Country Conversations with Diva D. How you doing? In honor of Mother Wendy, and I'm about to give it to you real and raw like I do. We're gonna talk about Michael Orr. We're gonna talk about Mia Thornton. We're gonna talk about Tupac and the latest arrest. We're gonna talk about Miss Nene. So, are you ready? So let's get right on into it. I am not gonna hold you or waste anybody's time, mine or you. We're gonna talk about it. Y'all ready to talk about it? Let's just talk about something here. Okay. You know I have to throw in my DHS experience. So let's begin with Michael Orr. Now, when I watched this movie, The Blind Side, which was based on his life story, Michael Orr, I was like, whew, the Caucasian people are already rich. Okay. And when I tell you that I'm sprinkling in my story from DHS, it's because what would happen is when I was at DHS, and I'm about to tell you why they don't really like Diva D down to the DHS, it's because I was very opinionated, as you can see on these videos. I sprinkle in a little facts too. You like it? So I'm about to sprinkle in some facts. This is no allegedly. This is what happened to me and my experience down to the DHS. So, we were regularly placing black children in Caucasian homes. Okay, so I got two white children. Yes, white people have children with multiple fathers. Shocking. Only black women do that, right? So she had multiple fathers, right? And she was highly unfit, right, to be a parent and to raise her kids. So the kids were in DHS custody. Now, once kids are in DHS custody, a little something for you. Really, that is your child in your case that you are responsible for through the state. Okay, that makes sense, right? So I placed one of her children in the home of his aunt on his dad's side. And then I placed the other child in a black woman's home who, she was the only person in this county who had space available for the child. You know, we have to go in his homes, inspect the home, even if the foster parents are licensed. And plus, they have to be licensed in order for us to place them in the home. Baby, when I tell you it was such a kerfuffle, when I placed that child into that black woman's home, I mean, coming down from the top, regional directors over there in the Jackson had got wind of what I did. And because y'all ready? Now, mind you, the mother has no custody of the child. The child is in DHS custody. However, her rights hadn't been terminated. So of course, her rights aren't terminated. However, the child is in the custody of DHS, so she has no say so over where we put the child. So we thought she and that aunt, even though that was the boy's aunt, came up there, cut the food, making up stuff on the black woman, saying that she wasn't washing the little girl's hair. Now, mind you, I was making my weekly visits, trying to throw off like black people don't wash our hair because we don't have to wash it often. So she was saying that since we didn't wash our hair often, she wasn't washing that white child's hair. It's the reverse for us, baby. And I told her that. I said, it's the reverse for us. We know that you have to wash your hair every day. It's the, Caucasian foster parents that don't understand that you are not supposed to wash black hair every day. Or, African American hair. So, I said all that to say, we had to move that child immediately due to that mother and her and the little boy's aunt cutting the food, like I said, making up stuff. So, good DVD. went down to the supervisor, and I was like, okay, so why is it such a kerfuffle for me placing this child into a black home, and y'all have no issue, zero. Even my supervisor had said when I placed the child in the home, but she's black. What? We're not supposed to see color, right? In DHS, we just supposed to put the child in a safe foster home. Is that correct? And I knew that she was in a safe foster home because this woman had been fostering for years. Nice home she provided for that child. A better home than the next foster parent did. That Caucasian lady that we put in the home, now her house was decent, but it wasn't anything like that black lady's home. Okay, well, that's what you get for wanting a child in a white home. I just said all that to say, when I saw that blind side, I was so uneasy. I was like, please tell me that they're not using this boy because they know he can play football. Then I really got uneasy on the episode, well, in the scene where the little boy had the accident. I was like, oh. And then they were Ole Miss fans too. Yeah, Ole Miss in this state. And they put in the movie that they had so many favors. And they knew this person, they knew that person, they had connection. So I was like, surely they can't be using him because these people are already rich. I remember the movie like it was yesterday because I was so in tune into it because it was dealing with my profession. And so I was like, yeah, they really love him. And in the back of my mind was saying, no, they don't. And then I was like, they do, though. They do. They already have their own money. Because I remember the amount of Taco Bells they said they had connected to KFC. As a matter of fact, they started that trend, I believe, here in Mississippi because that's the way ours is set up, the Taco Bell / KFC. That's the way theirs was set up in the Oxford area, the Memphis area, you know, throughout the South. So I was like, they already rich. What are they using him for? Oh, fast forward to 2023. I tell you, when I tell you that social work skill never leaves you, oh my goodness. They are using the boy, got the boy in a conservatorship, well, the man now. Got him in a conservatorship. They were getting millions off the blind side. I believe it. Comes up that they want to take Oscars from the people who won the Oscar. No. This is Tui's story, Miss Tui, because I don't remember her first name. But this is Miss Tui's story. She's the one that did that. Sandra Bullock didn't do it. She just played the role that she was given through what Michael Orr and the rest of the family told her. This young man did not even know he was in a conservatorship. I found out that they knew the judge. Because no judge, no youth court judge worth his salt is going to do a conservatorship. I thought they had adopted him. Or what I talked about in the previous review, that they had done durable legal custody, which means that the mother's rights are never terminated. However, she has no legal rights to the child. However, if she chooses to do visitation and all that type of stuff, she can still have her rights for visitation. Now, when adopted, if you are adopted through the state of Mississippi, and I don't know about the rest of the states, but if you're adopted through the state of Mississippi and the parental rights are terminated, they have zero rights to their child, even visitation. So, that's neither here nor there. So, like I was saying, This is all a scheme that Ty set up to come to us with BS. Because I honestly believe that they had no intentions of doing what was right by him. And I'm so glad that the judge has lifted that conservatorship. And they lifted it in his favor. Because how many millions of dollars were they taking from him throughout his NFL career? We'll probably really never know the true amount, But I'm so glad that somebody was in his ear. Probably that sister he married to. Was in his ear telling him that something just was not gelling. And like I said, in the back of my mind, I always saw them with that savior complex. So I was just hoping that that wasn't the case here. But it actually was, and it came out to be true. So I said all that to say, good luck, Mr. Michael Orr. I hope everything works out for you going forward from here now that the conservatorship is lifted. How you doing? Let's go to the next topic. Let's talk about Miss Mia Thornton. Now, Miss Mia, Miss Mia had already said on the trailer over there that I have in my shorts that she believed, or that she was honest. You can't. Now, Mia lies. Don't get it twisted. She has an inflated ego. And she run around here talking about she's a boss. We got tired. Didn't we? Yeah, we did. But she did not deny that she married old Mr. Gordon over there with his nasty tongue for his money. And I'm glad she didn't deny it, because ain't that what you're supposed to marry for security? Now, black women, we don't want to get called gold diggers, but if you watch The Shires of Sunset over there on the Bravo as well, you remember Mama Vita? I think that was her name, Mercedes Mama. Did you see Mercedes Mama? Mercedes, as she called her. Most the mama didn't want her to marry old Freddie or Frank or whatever his name was, because all he had to his name was being Caucasian. She was like, I prefer if you marry a good, solid, rich Shah than you to marry this low down, dirty Caucasian male. That's my preference. But if you don't find a Shah, at least if you're gonna go over there, marry one that's rich. Mama Vita kept it 110. Okay? Every time you watch the episode. Same thing with Gigi. Gigi's parents paid her way for everything. You could date them over there, but you better marry rich. See how that works? So, we as black women, we can't marry rich and for money. We get dragged in the press. You hear? Shout out to Monique over there in Potomac as well. Shout out to all the Potomac ladies. Why they asking Mia if she married Gordon for money? What do you think Karen married the black Bill Gates for? Now, y'all talk about that lady lied about him being the black Bill Gates, but I tell y'all, I implore y'all to go read up on his history before you say something. Because he invented software for Xerox. Okay? Mishandling of his monies. Yes. A lot of people do that who are rich. That does not mean he wasn't the black Bill Gates at the time when she said that. And now she's a liar. Now, Karen does lie. Don't get it twisted. She lies a lot. However, when she married Ray, and she had that son in tow that she had already had prior to. Same thing with old Nene that I'm about to talk about in a minute. You think they married these older men because they were broke? A lot of women marry for security. Don't get that twisted ever. But it's only the black women who get dragged for it. We supposed to have good struggle of. Ain't that right, Tyler Perry? Over there in your movies. And over there on your TV show. Right? We're supposed to struggle together, and then by the time we make it to the top. No. Like I said, stop marrying Bill brothers. Next. Yeah, Tyler is on my list for that. So I was, said all that to say that Miss Mia decided that she was going to separate from old Gordon. Now, we all know what's going on over there, right? If you don't know, let me tell you. Miss Mia done packed up her ish and then said, deuces. because she is no longer a boss, or a CEO of that joint chiropractor over there. If y'all really want to know the truth, I honestly think that she was just a figurehead. That's just between us. So, said all that to say, leave Mia alone. If she got with him for his money, what's wrong with that? I don't like Mia's character on The Real Housewives of Potomac, but I'm not mad at her for packing up her shit and chunking them up. Right? Next. I know I said next a while ago, but I wasn't ready. But I am ready now. So, let's just talk about Miss Nene. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on Nene because for the simple fact, with that interview she had with Bethenny, and I got most of my information from Mims and a sprinkle of Really B. But the thing about it is, and a sprinkle from Up Now. But the thing about me is I based all this information I'm about to give you on what my actual views on the issue is. And I'm just going to say Nene is the most, her and Bethenny, are the most arrogant, egotistical people that I have ever seen on TV, on reality TV. Oh, over there on Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta. Jocelyn. 3 peas in a pie, right there. So, I said all that to say, Bethenny was not softballing questions to Nene. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, you ain't ready. You ready for me to give it a real and raw? I think she was setting her up. Because she kept asking her questions about Bravo. And she was trying to bait her to come on in and think like she thought. Nene wasn't ready. She didn't know that's what she was doing. But to me, that's what she was doing. And then as far as what I saw on Up and Adam, Andy basically called both of them bitter. And they are, to me, in my opinion. Now, as far as Bethenny goes, Bethenny has turned that thing around, didn't she? She started out as a housewife who went housewifing, just like Nene. Now, Nene contradicted herself in this interview where she said she was housewifing, but she wasn't living like the other chicks behind the gate. Now, let me give y'all some personal tea. Y'all ready? See, y'all ain't ready for real for raw for, Diva D, because Diva D knows some things, right? I knew that it was gonna. Y'all don't think I have sources because I don't have but 32 followers, subscribers? Oh, Diva D got sources. I know people that know people. You better know that I know that. Okay. So, I was down to the Atlanta. And I ran into a contractor. I knew it was going to come out before it came out. And I ran into this contractor and I just simply asked him. I've been interviewing before I even got my little YouTube channel. So I've been interviewing people every time I see somebody that I think may know something. I'll go ahead and ask them the question. So this was years ago. Right when Nene and Greg got on the show. Guess what? He was friends with Nene. And Greg. Well, he was friends with Greg. And he told me the real. Now, he said that Greg had made lots and lots of dough in real estate. However, the house that they had on the show, it wasn't their house. And I was like, oh, this man is lying. Nene's rich, bitch. So I thought he said, I'm telling you, they are middle class. At best. He went around there and got her off the pole. And yes, he was making a lot of money when he went around there and got her off the pole. But he made bad investments, bad choices, and he wasn't that great in business. I'm just telling you what the man said, allegedly. So it came out to be the alleged information that he had given me. It came back out on the show. Didn't it? Y'all remember? When the reporter came up to the door and asked, Greg about all those foreclosed properties. Yeah. So old Diva D knew that was coming. Just because my channel ain't smart, that don't mean I don't have sources. Like I said, I can give it to you real and raw. So, Bethenny is outspoken. I can't stand her. But she said something to get in Nene's crawl space. You see, they both were used by the network and by Andy. And I know this because I'm a viewer of the show, not Bethenny's show. Because I didn't like Bethenny from... Only thing I remember about Bethenny is she said lie in. But it's people all up on the internet talking about she could read Candace for Phil. Maybe through dollars, not through this right here. Yeah, she's outspoken, and I was saying she has a tendency to know what she's doing. Very smart businesswoman, though. Very savvy. Nene isn't there yet. She was getting Nene. She was getting Nene on every corner. Nene told a story about the cameraman and her pulling on him. Foolishness. That man allegedly had his teeth broke out his head. Right? Because I read the news article that he said he was going to sue civilly. Nene has said some things about Andy liking a sugar boo. So, Nene is cross-comparing herself to Teresa. She's comparing herself. She did that over there on Carlos's video. She's comparing herself to Lisa. She's comparing herself to, who else walked out? Somebody else she's compared herself that walked out. But I said all that in essence. I think of it. But I said all that in essence to say, Nene, sis. You walked out, closed your computer, and never opened it back. As many times as I've seen that wild, spoiled Teresa walk out, she always comes back. The appearance, Mary. Now, Mary stayed away. I mean, they punished her for a whole season, but she didn't burn bridges like you have, dear. She did. Mary did some things. But Mary is back on the show as a friend, and she accepted that role. When you were given the 6 episodes, really, your ego wouldn't let you accept it. I know that. I know you through the TV and through Mr. Contractor over there I met in Atlanta. So, sis, they wasn't gonna, give you the same thing that they gave Lisa. Now, you even have said that Lisa took your idea for Vanderpump Rules. I don't doubt that at all. And a lot of things that you say, I don't doubt. That went down to that network. But to me, your ego is what got you out of this whole situation. I don't care how many Nene fans don't like what I'm saying. And y'all about as delusional as she is, if you don't understand that. It's only just like I understood way back in that last story that I told, that I was going to ruffle some feathers when I said, hold up. Y'all don't mind placing black children in white homes. So why is it a problem that I placed a white child in a black home? Let me get it straight. Also, Nene said that she told her, you can get away with things that I can't get away with. Bethenny was like, yeah, she admitted that she has some privilege. Over the years, I've seen Bethenny and Nene go back and forth on social media. But it was a thing now, since Bethenny made her little kind of microaggressive statement about them being ghetto over there on Real Housewives, because Real Housewives back in that time was #1. And they hated it. All the other housewives, OC and New York, couldn't touch it. However, Nene messed up your own bag. Everybody is telling you that except for Michelle H. Allen Brown. And the rest of your fans over there in delusional land. Keep it real. And Nene said, I know they blocking me. And then Bethenny's like, how can they be blocking you from ABC? Because they wrote the letters. When I tell you ABC don't give a about what's going on down to the NBC Universal, they got their own thing going on. They failing stuff. Disney is slowly sinking, like Titanic. You think they worried about that? If they thought you come over there and save them, you think they want to bring you over there? Your ego is overinflated. You think you can act better than you can. Of course you can act like yourself. And that's what you do. Everything I've seen you on, you act like you. Nobody wants to see you act like you. And you sat up there and said, I can act. Even when I saw little excerpts of you playing in Cinderella, I still saw Nene. And just like with the past, even though the past, I had to bring up the past because I often call Drew, Nena's character, Drew in the movie, because all I could see was Drew acting as herself. It worked for her because Drew was going through some things. Right? But when you in a comedy role, you don't transform, Nene. I'm not Michelle Alien. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna blow smoke up your butt to make you feel better, like she does over there. It's the truth, Nene. Accept it. When you are acting, you act like yourself. And even when I see Miss Candy over there acting on whatever she is, do you know she adopted a whole British accent at the end of the past? Oh, no. I didn't want it. I didn't want to lay up under that old crusty man for years and take his money. Why did I have to do that one? Okay. If somebody else has to do it next time, you're going to lay up under the old crusty white man, not me. You see? Different person. You, Nene. Everything I see you in. Bethenny, bitter Bethenny. Just because you have millions, that doesn't mean you're not better. Yes, I know that Bravo probably has a situation where they go around and mistreat their talent. But it seems to me when y'all was at the top of y'all game, y'all just wasn't as loud and as vocal as you are now. And you kept, Bethenny, you kept reiterating that you left the show. We know, skinny girl. However, that doesn't mean you're not bitter as well. Now, you didn't do the things that Nene did. I just like Mr. Anderson said, I think the door is closed for you, Nene. And I do believe you are blackballed. But you sitting up there saying you can't act. Yes, of course you can. Like yourself. I can act like myself on TV. Who can't do that? That's not real raw talent. That's not real raw acting ability, sis. Now, Nene, back in the day, I loved you. But then when that ego and that head started swelling, we saw that through the TV. And like I said, if nobody else is willing to admit that, then they are just as delusional as you, sis. Talking to you. I know I don't have listeners and the viewers that Miss Michelle got over there. But if Michelle is not acting, she acts just like you. I'm hoping for real, that she is not up your butt like that. Because, girl, she, Bethenny was really keeping it real with you on the low. She was throwing slick shade at you, sis. And you didn't pick it up. And then when she threw in that curveball, it was talking, and you said, and it's not my friend. Well, but we were more than friends. Contradicting yourself, because you said many times that you were friends. Then you contradicted yourself and said, well, we're not friends. Because my friends, I can go to their house. And even though you were at that baby shower over there, you admitted you never been to his house. Oh, Bethenny threw a shot at you, girl. and said, well, I've been to the house. And don't think that I don't think that Andy wasn't using y'all for ratings over there on the Watch What Happened Last, because I believe I'm the only black person in America that watch it. Now, I watch it faithfully. I tape it. But I don't know very many other black people that do. But when you came on the show, Miss Nene, we had to see you. Yes, you shot up the rating, and yes, you were there many, many, many times by yourself. And I appreciate you for what you did for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but let it go, sis. You're going to have to move on. You're going to have to move on like Mr. Andy did. And I'm just keeping it real and raw with you. Like I do. Now, y'all ready for the Tupac tea? Woo! Y'all ain't ready. Now, I'm going to go back and give you a little backstory on me, Mr. Tupac. Now, Tupac had the song called My Ambitions as a Rider. And my ex-boyfriend that we were supposed to get married, who cheated on me, and I caught him in the bed with another woman, that's neither here nor there. While everybody came over there saying we supposed to get with our college sweetheart, that was my college sweetheart. And I walked in on him down to the Travel Lodge, laid up with another one. And he married somebody else too. Again, by Bill the brother. Okay. So, back to Mr. Pop. Anyway, he had an amplifier and speakers and his Dodge Stratus. And oftentimes he used to let me drive that Stratus to work. Yes, sir. And baby, every time I got in there, cause dum 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 dum, do na 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 do 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 na 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 do 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 da. Y'all don't know nothing about that, do you? Can really rock with you like I do. Ooh, baby, I was in Memphis, Tennessee. We was at a football game. When Jackson State used to play the Aristocrat Classic. I'm calling it Aristocrat Classic because I can't remember the name of it. Because the Liberty Classic, I believe. The Liberty Bowl Classic. Liberty Classic. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, I was in Memphis to see the game. And I knew Tupac was in the hospital. He had already been SHOT. So, I was down there in Memphis, and, I went to see, because his sister played with the band, the Aristocrat bands, over there for Tennessee State. I went all the way across the field to see her. And we were talking about Pac, of course. Because I was like, oh, girl, Pac is in the hospital. I'm going, bonkers. As I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted by one of my favorite children, I was going bonkers thinking about Pac, right? Then we get to the house where we were staying in with my friend's boyfriend. And the crowd goes across the screen, Tupac had passed away. And I immediately called my mom. And I was like, we had to use the MCA cards then, call long distance. Y'all ain't ready for that. So I called my mom a long distance. And I had that little card for probably had $10 on it, and probably didn't have no more than 20 minutes. And I said, Mama, they got Pop. And she was like, I know. Now my mama was in either her late 40s or early 50s at the time. Do you hear me? She loved both Pac and Biggie. But as soon as I told her, I know it, Biggie did it. I said, Mama, calm down. Calm your nerve. Yeah, he did it. I said, Mama, you don't know anything yet. Right? So years went by, nothing. Then, prior to that, the years that had gone by, Biggie himself had been taken away from us. Now, these two great talents that at first were friends and no longer got along due to industry mess. And when I tell you that I hate that, because it was like you had to choose. And Pac often put Snoop, according to Snoop, allegedly, in that position where he had to choose two. And it just was not right. Now, allegedly, everybody knows that Suge was a blood. Right? And I was really surprised that he had even taken on Snoop. Because we all know Snoop on the left side, that's the Crip side. So he knew that Snoop ripped the blue. So, colors, 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 colors. Well, anyway, that being said, he was big cool with the blood. I don't even think Pac was in the game. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he was a blood or a Crip. Now, hood, yeah, but I don't think so. But anyway, I called my other friend and she was upset, You talking about somebody love Pac. I mean, she really got me into him because I wasn't looking at him as a revolutionary because I tacked on myself to anybody that was a revolutionary back then. Shout out to KRS-One. So, when she told me that he has so much knowledge, so bright, I was just like, yeah, this is my guy. My ambitions as a rider. That was my guy, okay? So, like I said, all that to say, as the years went on, and, nobody was charged with his, snuffing out. All these conspiracy theories came out, even a conspiracy theorist saying that he was still alive. I never believed that, okay? Mama passed away. Good, sweet Bethenny. Had him in jail. Black Panther. Shout out to Mama Feeney. And she raised him in that way, to be socially conscious and socially driven. Well, the other day I was looking at a interview listening to an interview with Fab Five Freddy. He was on The Breakfast Club. And he was talking about how Pac had the best soul of anybody that he had ever met. Now, he even included Biggie, and he said including Biggie, and Biggie, and I was from the East Coast. And he said, do you know what kind of hell that me and his friends from the East Coast was going through trying to keep peace between these two guys because they loved them both. The guy over there, Tretch, he was so close to Pac, right? But he was cool with Biggie. But he was on the East Coast. And they put a divide between friends. It was like north and south over there. And the fans. It was like we had to choose, right? And Cube was in my top 5. Pac was in my 5. You had Dr. Dre over there on the West. But Dr. Dre had distanced himself from that mess. He had told Pac, quit hanging with Shoot. Well, Diva D got some sources too. I keep telling y'all I got sources. So I talked to somebody close to the case. They know a little something about what's going on down into the jail. And they say Mr. Kiefer D, who has just recently been arrested, knows some things and tells some things about Pac's hit. Allegedly. Now, I just said before that I thought it was an inside job. That's just me thinking it. But the word on the street from my sources. Yeah, like I said, DVD got sources. When you start doing a little bit of media, and I just do a little bit because my channel has only 32 followers. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I need you and I want you. You're welcome over here. And because I'm not monetized, guess what? No commercials. So that should have been a incentive. Come on in, come on in. So he was telling me that the industry insider was telling him that, he was over there talking. And everybody has been saying that Vlad is a veteran. I don't know. He may be. But it don't seem to me that he wasn't arrested. He hadn't been arrested in all these 23 years. What did Vlad get out of him? Now, I don't like Mr. Black because I thought he was black. When my source told me he was white, now he didn't tell me this today. My source tells me a lot of things. He told me that Vlad was white. And I was like, so what now? You mean to tell me you got these hood men who hate black women over there talking to him about black issues? Say what now? Anyway, Mr. Kiefer. Yeah, Mr. Kiefer over there down to the jail. He talking. Let's see what happens to Mr. Kiefer. He was arrested in one of the most beloved rappers' deaths, in conjunction with, should I say. However, Mr. Kiefer might know some things, and he is saying, allegedly, all things are alleged in my opinion, that Mr. Industry Insider over there, it was a higher up executive in the music industry that gave him a couple of dollars. Dollar bills, y'all. To be involved. Not the shooter. Because notice that the cops on TV said he was arrested for having something to do or tied into the murder of Mr. Tupac Shakur. They didn't say he actually pulled the trigger, now did they? No. Now, the question is, was it really a hit? We will probably never have the answers that we are looking for in this case, and that's really sad. But now that we have an arrest, let's see, will his industry insider information and his checks that supposedly cleared come to the forefront? Because I'm pretty sure he don't want to be in jail over there in California with the Crips or the Bloods. Are we clear on that? Okay, and with that being said, yes, again, I have sources. Oh, DVD. We're on 32 subscribers. Come on in. Subscribe, like the channel. And I'm gonna close as I do with the deuces. Thanks for watching. This is Country Conversations with Diva D.